Working on the M a little bit today. Gonna extend the steering shaft out a little bit because these TAs make the tractor 5 inches longer. So we gotta extend our steering shaft 5 inches. So I've got the steering shaft cut, and we're gonna weld that piece in there. I just gotta get them cleaned up and weld it together. That's gonna be this afternoon's project. Shouldn't take me too long. So I can get it set up so we can see about mounting the steering pedestal somewhere around here. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to do that yet. I thought about welding to it, but don't want to weld to the cast. So I'm thinking about figuring out a way to bolt it down, whether I drill holes in the casting and put bolts in it, or make a plate that fastens here, goes up into here, then have it fastened to this bolt and this bolt. But I haven't decided which way we're going to go yet. But first thing I'm going to do is get that welded back together and see where it sets. We'll be back. Okay. My father welded this part up for me last night, and we just got it clamped in a piece of angler. I'm going to weld that up right now and get it cleaned up and ground down. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, we got it all welded up and ground down smooth. Now we're going to set it up on the tractor and see how it looks. And we'll mark out where we got to make a new template to mount the steering shaft on the floorboard. Put the half moon key in, make sure it's in level, and this should just slide right on. There we go. It's a little warm. A couple taps there. It looks good. I'll put this bolt in. Just hold everything together. All right. So that's where it wants to sit. I'm gonna mark it out with a marker, and then I'm gonna come in with a soapstone and mark over it. Then we gotta make a 3/4 inch spacer plate. I might just use some nuts right now, just kind of get an idea how high it's gonna set. But we'll see what it looks like when we get to that point. We're off. Some of the bolts are in kind of bad shape, holds us down, so I got some new ones we're gonna put in when we put it back together. I'm just gonna use RTV for a gasket, but I got this one all cleaned up, smoothed down pretty good. I put something on to keep it from rust until I get the transmission cover back on, but we'll just use a little bit of brake clean to wipe it down. And we got the top cover drilled. It's over here behind that 4230. That's the plate that's supposed to go on it. I got some new bolts for that. See the 3 holes there. We're going to clean that up real good, and we're going to use an RTV on it to kind of seal it. And I'm going to seal around the bolts. I'm going to use Loctite to hold the bolts tight in that plate I threaded. And then we're going to clean everything up and throw it back together. I'll get the steering mounted up, and everything should be okay there. So that's going to be this morning's project. And then hopefully we can get the gas tank mounted up when we get this all back together. Then we're going to start making the brackets to hold that. And we're also going to try to figure out a hydraulic reservoir. So stay tuned. Well, got it all bolted on. Got our TV underneath it. Got red Loctite on the bolts, so they shouldn't come loose. And hopefully it seals up good. But that's the mount. I set that on there. It's a little snug, but it does fit. So now we got to get this cover cleaned up. Should be able to put it back on. Got the top cover back on. It's a bit of a challenge by myself, but we got it on. Putting in some brand new bolts. I always try to use new hardware when I do stuff like this, just because a lot of times the old hardware's had a lot of dirt sitting in it. It's rotting it out over the years. Not always. So yeah, we're gonna get this bolted down. I had to pull the shifter out to help get the forks lined up when I was putting it together. So I'm gonna put a gasket on that and put that in. I can actually make that with some gasket material, so that's probably what I'll do. And I'll just put a little bit of RTV just to seal it up to be on the safe side. So, but I kind of found this at the auto parts store. It's kind of nice. They actually got a gasket maker that comes in a caulk tube size. So I got that because I figured they'd probably use quite a bit doing this project. So I still gotta make a gasket for both these spots here. I gotta make a gasket for up here, and then we're gonna get into the torque amplifier here probably. I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after. Sometimes I don't get a lot of time during the week to work on this, so I have to do most of it on the weekend. So yeah, we're almost done with this part of the project. I'll get a shot of what it looks like when I get the steering pedestal on here, make sure it lines up good, and then we'll work on a gas tank bracket. We'll be right back. Alright, we got it bolted on. I'm gonna get some non-lock nuts, just normal nuts, because bolts don't stick up enough to go into the nylock, so there ain't no point having them on there. I might just put regular nuts on it and just put a little bit of Loctite on just to keep them loosening up. I might not, it might not be a problem. But we set the gas tank on here. The next step is to go build that bracket up. I measured it. I think I only need to bring it up about 1 inch from what it was stock. And then that should be done. Then I got to figure I'm going to put my oil reservoir. I thought about mounting one kind of right in here where the battery used to sit. I can't decide whether to do that. I just put the battery back in there and put it somewhere else. I didn't want to just have it hanging outside the tractor. I wanted it to look somewhat like it was supposed to be there. But so yeah, that's going to be it for this week. As usual, comment, rate, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.